Hello and welcome to this week's Football Talk podcast with me, Josh, as your host this week. This is your chance to sit back, get yourself comfortable as we bring update on this week's football. As we talk news, Dave gets his brain changed in a Euro 2020 theme quiz. We preview Euro 2020. I'm wearing my England shirt, showing loyalty to my country. Dave is not.
Mine's on the way. It's in the post.
Well, more about later. And then finally, Dave has the honour of guessing this week's Wikifile. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, drop us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Spotify so you don't miss out. We're here almost every Sunday morning. Now, over to my co-host, all the way from Singapore, is Mr. David Nichols. Dave, how are you? Tell us about this England shirt in the post.
Yeah, I've ordered the new England shirt. I thought I haven't bought one with me.
You've got brand new.
I've gone brand new. I haven't ordered it through Nike or the FA. Potentially could be coming from China. Local,
okay.
Local over here.
Yeah, you support local businesses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, I've ordered it. I'll see what it looks like when it gets here. I mean,
I think we've spoken previously about English shirts, and you don't own any, or
no,
I've
got loads. I've got loads.
Oh,
they're just all in the UK. So
yeah, that's what I thought when you said it's in the post. I thought you've got a family member to post it, but
no. Do you know why we can't do that? Because we've got a storage container that's in Bristol, and we don't have any family that live in Bristol. So
how often do you go? Oh God, that's in the storage container in Bristol. Is that a regular thing?
Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah. And we were meant to be going back, obviously. Not last Christmas, the Christmas before. We're meant to go back to the UK because we've got the storage container key in Singapore, so that we can know where it is, and we're going to go back and sort out the storage container and bring the stuff back they wanted. And then 2 years later, and we're still here with a storage key and a storage container in Bristol that we're paying for. So, yes. Anyway, apologies we're late. We actually got distracted talking England, weren't we?
We did talk England, yeah. We were talking through... does anyone remember our Euro 2000 qualifying campaign? And we had to play a playoff against who?
Scotland.
And I've got a vague memory. So we won 2-1, 2-0 first leg, a couple of Paul Scholes goals, and then a Don Hutchison goal for Scotland. And I've got a vague memory of a Don Hutchison goal. This is right at the kind of start of my England journey. Well, not right at the start. I watched Euro 96, France 98, so it's infancy, I'd say. But yeah, I don't have strong memories of that.
I don't remember it at all. I do not remember us. I remember Euro 2000 because of the Romania incident. Phil Neville. But I don't remember anything about the playoff. I just obviously wasn't. It's probably similar to now. I don't really watch the playoff games and just watch the big tournament. So, yeah. But
well, more on England and more on the Euros later. Let's talk other news. What's been in the news this week, Mr. Nichols?
I mean, we have to start with the merry-go-round of managers still happening.
Yeah.
I mean, the big one. Ancelotti. Yeah. Ancelotti's the big one.
Ancelotti got on the merry-go-round. He wasn't on the merry-go-round last week. He was like, hey, this looks like fun. I'll jump on, and absolutely just slapped Everton fans in the face. And
I don't have a problem with it.
Do you not?
He's looking after him. He's looking after himself, and he said, Madrid's always in his heart. And if Madrid are gonna, one, pay him more than Everton, two, give him a better lifestyle of where to live, and he's probably still got a house in Madrid already. Yeah, why not? Why not? I've got nothing against it. It's a better job, better club.
Yeah, I agree that you got to look after number one, but I just feel a little bit sorry for Everton fans because it was like, Real Madrid looking for managers, Conte, Poch. No, Ancelotti is linked and gone, and he's there. What? And now they're left holding. Yeah. So let's have a look back on Carlo's time. It wasn't great, was it?
It started unbelievably well, didn't it? James joined, firing on all cylinders. He got Dominic Calvert-Lewin firing as well, and Richarlison playing really well. And then towards the tail end, it all sort of ended, and they finished 10th. So
it really did peter out. Win percentage overall, I think it's got one of the best win percentages, but it's not like starkly different to similar tenures of Silva and Koeman had like 40, 41%. He's got 46%. It was a bit better, and I don't think the football was that much more exciting. Obviously, he did get a first win at Anfield in however many years. Yeah,
it's interesting mentioning Koeman. Obviously, El Clasico will now be Koeman v Ancelotti.
Yes, the Merseyside El Clasico.
Yeah. And he's been rumoured that he wants to take Richarlison with him as his first signing as Madrid boss.
I mean, you look at the wide players at Madrid; they're not exactly standout, are they?
It'll be
not
Vinicius Junior, Asensio, still there.
Asensio, yeah. Also another Brazilian winger, Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like he's. I mean, and Eden Hazard is there.
Yeah.
It's not like he's out of place in those names, and he was obviously linked with Barcelona a few seasons back, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Charles?
He was.
And he can be very effective, but I think it would be quite fortunate if Ancelotti did that. I'd say I don't know Everton fans' feelings about it, but
yeah,
they'd get a fair chunk of money if
yeah. I mean, so two questions then. First one, I guess you can answer them in any order you want. One, who are they going to go for a manager? But two, are Everton going to now suffer because they've sort of tried every single manager? They had firefighter Sam Allardyce, they've gone young manager, they've gone manager from the Championship, they've gone Koeman in terms of foreign export, they've gone Ancelotti, serial winner, they've gone Marco Silva, they've tried everything. So one, who's going to be their manager? Two, do you think this is now Everton are going to really suffer next season and it's going to be a struggle?
I don't think they'll ever get a manager. Well, not ever, because you don't know what's happened in 50 years. But in the near term, which I don't think they're getting a manager as good as Carlo Ancelotti again.
No,
that was their meal ticket, and it just didn't work out. So next manager, it does feel like a fit. I can see Nuno sitting on the sidelines. I can see that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's a lot of talk of returning managers. We'll get onto another club manager. Is Roberto Martinez an option?
Moyes
an option. Also, a lot of big dunks being spoken. We haven't had an ex-player yet, have we?
No, that's true. Actually, no. Don't
big
think
dunk, Rooney.
Wayne Rooney, yeah, potentially.
Wayne Rooney after his excellent time at Derby, keeping up on last day.
Yeah, as we found out, he did really well in the end.
Yeah.
But do you think they're going to suffer? Do you think Everton are going to suffer now?
Yeah, I would. One, I think that Ancelotti was a massive lure, bringing players in.
Yeah.
Alan from Napoli, James from Real Madrid. I don't think those players will want out, but I don't think you now have that lure of players being brought in.
Yeah, agreed.
Carlo was a very good manager, so they will be a step down manager. So I'll be surprised. I mean, I'm not sure if there'll be a step down league position because it ended it out a little bit down squib. So, but I don't think that'll be the kind of the title challenge joy of the early weeks. But,
yeah, okay. So I'm firing questions at you. So I've got two more then. And this one you can do in order. First off, put yourself in Everton owner. You're the owner now of Everton. Who do you go for? First choice. What are you realistic? What are you going for in a manager?
I'd go for Graham Potter.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I think that's a good move for him because it's a little bit of a step down from Spurs, where he's also been linked. It's a step up from Brighton. He's got some good footballing players. He'll have money to spend. I think that'll be a really good move for him. And I just think he seems a bit unfashionable for people.
And that's the next question for you. You're now an Everton fan. Who do you want? Realistic. Nuno, are you happy with Nuno if you're an Everton fan?
I don't think I think I'll be content, maybe a little bit. If Nuno of kind of 18 months ago, yeah, but Nuno now is stock.
Is that the only feeling you're going to get as an Everton fan, do you think? Because it was replacing Ancelotti, who was just no one expected him to go there in the first place, sort of thing. Is every manager now
It will be, won't it? Yeah. What about who do you think? You got any manager you think in mind for that?
I could see Everton.
Steven Gerrard?
No, I think that is the ultimate clickbait from the Athletic. That going out. I think Everton might go for Eddie Howe, and I think fans would look at it as a sense of that's a good managerial appointment for us because he's young and proactive and will get us playing good football, which I think is a bit of a lie for what he did at Bournemouth.
Roberto Martinez reincarnated, poor defence, nice play.
That's what I think. But I think Everton fans after Ancelotti would say that Eddie Howe with Premier League experience on a free, don't have to pay a club like a fee to go and get him. He won't want a huge amount of wages, and Eddie Howe could work at Everton. It could work. It's not long term, and it depends what you sort of want. But I would say, Eddie Howe, especially now he's turned down Celtic, I think is well on Everton's radar.
All right, well, let's move to another club who's had a little bit of managerial toing and froing this week. We write out notes, but you might not realise this, and might not think it is the case. But we write out little notes during the week, kind of things how everything's going. And I've written here, Conte to Spurs is all but there, and Dave subsequently later on in the week just wrote, ha 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 ha. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Now. Okay, I'm going to let you talk because I've got some things I want to say on it, but I don't want to just come straight off the bat and feel like I'm really defensive about it. But from an outside looking in,
it looks quite embarrassing. It looks, from an outsider's point of view, it looks like Levy didn't really know what he wanted as a manager, because he's come out and said, we're going to go back to our old attacking ways, and then the Poch rumours started, and then that didn't. Well, PSG basically just came out and said, "Well, we don't want to get rid of him, so that's fine."
But PSG, like, what do you mean he's talking to you? He's not talking to you. He's here. We're planning for the future. Stop talking rubbish. And I think they would say that to save face, but I think it would have been talks. But
I agree. And then he's sort of gone balls deep. Can I say that for Conte? In terms, well, I've said it now. It's live on the internet, isn't it? And it seems like it's all or nothing in terms of Conte, and then that's massively backfired, and it's a step away from the attacking, exciting football we want, because it's basically Mourinho's sort of. It's better than
they cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
In terms of the intensity, and can flare up. He's definitely more attacking than Mourinho.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not in keeping with what there was a previous statement of Spurs DNA. But I think it was seen as too good an opportunity to miss, and
which I can see. I can agree with that.
What doesn't help? I mean, I go to Twitter for football, and that has just been an absolute cesspit. Now, we've just spoken about Ancelotti and him leaving Everton because he has no ties to the club. He has no want to be there, and that's how I'd feel if Conte came to Spurs. Exactly the same. I just feel that he would drop us like an absolute stone at the first sign of, say Juve need a new manager, or Real Madrid or Barcelona being interested. He'd drop us like a stone, and that's not what I want from a manager.
But what manager wouldn't? You can take, let's say, to Spurs hire Graham Potter, and Graham Potter gets you a Champions League final, a League Cup final, an FA Cup final, and second in the league, let's say, and Juventus go, oh, he looks pretty good, let's give him a go. Then he's gone. He'll go.
Okay. Well, firstly, they're not going to be in for a Graham Potter, are they? In anywhere near the time frame, it would take Graham Potter a lot of time to build his reputation up to be on the lips of Perez at Real Madrid going, should we appoint this guy?
Yeah.
Because Spurs are kind of balking at it. And secondly, Conte wouldn't even have to have that season. He wouldn't have to have that great season. He could have an Ancelotti season. He'll still be in the talk.
True.
And then you have the other side of things where a lot of Spurs fans are like, oh, just give him what he wants. No, don't give him what he wants, because you have no idea the level of demands he's making. They could be making demands that would bankrupt a club and have a world of pain. And there's no guarantee he'll be a success.
And also,
it might seem like it'd be a success, but you don't bow down to one man's demands for a whole club.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, you don't know that his demands might have been if I'm right, wages is fine. I think that is one of the things that wasn't fine. But let's say wages are fine.
Okay, I can imagine that being broached. It doesn't seem like a big issue.
No, I think like if Spurs fans were saying just give him what he wants, and then what he wants is his contract demands as well. Sanchez played really well for me. Ashley Young played really well for me. Victor Moses played really well for me when he was on loan. I want all three of those to be signed, and then they sign. Spurs fans will be like, oh, what's this? This is rubbish transfer business. What are we doing? Signing all these has-beens. So you can't just, I agree, you can't just say give in to his demands, because you don't know what they are. And Conte does that. Conte brings in ready-made older footballers that can play his style, which is fine, but they're on extortionate wages, these players. Generally.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree, and it's the fact that you don't like fans. I think fans are getting to a point where they want to buy success. Like they're complaining about Spurs owners not putting their hand in the pocket and propping up a club. But I personally don't want that. I don't want to be the club, but I would like to be it sustainably. And a lot of fans quote like, top 10 in revenue. Unfortunately, that revenue is going to be massively depleted, and costs wouldn't really have changed over the last 18 months. We can't do that, and Conte doesn't. Let's not kid ourselves. Tottenham aren't at the top tier.
No,
he's not we'd have to do something to lure Conte in, and Conte knows that. Therefore, he'll be making excessive demands, and maybe if he wants to win, he wants to have that CV where he continues to win. He's won 5 out of the last 7 league campaigns he's managed in. He's going to want a lot of money to do that, because he doesn't. The squad's there, and therefore he can go, well, what? So I bring in hundreds of millions of pounds worth of your players, knowing that you may or may not leave. You might be a flight risk. It's just not sensible.
No, it's not. And I think there's wider things here as well. One of the reasons Conte's left Inter is because they've said we're going to have to sell. We don't have the money to keep these sorts of players on. And I don't think another thing is I don't think he'd want to walk into Spurs knowing that it's likely Harry Kane's going to be sold, if not this year, next summer.
That's the other element. It might be that Spurs are saving face and completely happy for his other rumours to go out there. It's all about transfer budget. But it might be the fact that Kane is already sold and Conte's like, oh, I'm not going to join if Kane's been sold.
Yeah, potentially.
We haven't yet. Could be another one that blows up in the face. Paratici, a former director of football, sporting director at Juve, is set to join.
Okay.
It does seem like that resets our managerial hunt back to zero. But at the same time, I'm not 100% convinced that the Conte thing is dead in the water. I think Levy is a master of brinksmanship. He might be like, he knows Conte's got no other offers. He's got nothing which is of Tottenham standard. We're probably the last club standing, really, looking for that manager.
Do you want him? Do you want Conte? Would you be well? 1, do you want him? And I'll probably think the answer I know is no. 2, would you be happy with him?
I'd take him as long as it's right for the club. I'd be interested to see how it all works, but it can't be just him having free reign.
Yeah, but it just sounds like Mourinho. Even when I asked you about the Mourinho thing, I'm happy to have a serial winner. I'm happy to have him, but let's see how it works out. And it's never like full belief, is it? You want your manager to come in and you'd be like, yeah, great appointment. This is the one. This is what we think is gonna work.
I'm not sure where that lands now for Spurs. There's been a lot of managerial toing and froings. It started with Nagelsmann. It went Ten Hag. There's been a bit of Potter.
Ten Hag's come back on the radar again. Apparently, that's rumours. Again.
That was more of a kind of compensation for Ajax. I think having that deal renewal. I mean, I'm not sure Poch is dead in the water. I don't think anything is discounted yet, apart from Nagelsmann, from what I've just mentioned.
Yeah. There. True, yeah. So one last question then. Who's in more trouble, Spurs or Everton? That's in the comments. So that's not me asking. That's the comments. Everton, okay. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So there you go. Quick chat about transfers then. You've got a couple to reel off.
Yeah, and talking of throwing back in someone's face, so we have Wijnaldum. The Barcelona PSG spat continues. So Wijnaldum seems... I'd mooted before... free transfers to Barcelona for a while. Aguero, Wijnaldum, Depay, Garcia. I mean, Wijnaldum now seems like he's had his prospective wage doubled by a PSG offer, and he's now gone, I'll take that. Yeah. Because who wouldn't?
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved PSG. So
yeah, boy, a PSG fan, actually.
Yeah. All right, Robbie Keane. I feel like Barcelona it's all starting to unravel a little bit. I just don't see Barcelona doing well at all.
So they got Aguero in. Depay seems to be in. Garcia is in. Aguero didn't take the biggest offer. He had bigger offers elsewhere, but just basically wanted to play with his mate. Messi, which isn't the biggest drive. I don't know how much of a determination they have there.
That's my issue with that one, yeah. And I think Depay, Barcelona don't really need Depay. It seems like it is just it's a Ronald Koeman free transfer signing, which is, when you think of it as free, it's great, but when you think of it in terms of their squad, it's not really that useful. Griezmann,
not an area.
What have they got? They've got Griezmann, Dembele's still there. They've got Messi, Aguero, the young Pedri, the youngster I think it is that can play on the wing.
Can operate in that area.
So I don't like it.
No. Well, we'll see how there's still a lot more transfers progress. The released lists have come out. So Spurs have released Gazaniga, released Danny Rose.
Yeah.
Did love Danny Rose. Shame how it ended for him. Was it Romero out at United?
Sergio, and Lee Grant, I think, he's moved into the coaching role that he was training for.
Rumour is of Tom Heaton going to United, I assume.
Yeah, homegrown third goalkeeper, innit? So standard. Romero's a bit of a sad one actually. always, I really liked him. I think I wanted him at a time to be given a chance to be first choice. He's got a ridiculous record at United. It's something like 60 appearances, 39 or 40 clean sheets, and then conceded 28 goals or something.
I'm reasonably sure you turned down a bid for him last summer.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Which, in hindsight, I suppose you always want that backup goalkeeper, but you had De Gea and Henderson. It seemed like you could have easily just cashed in on that and not paid the guy's wages and not got a transfer fee.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering, you were thinking about. I was like, what's he thinking about?
Yeah. Josh
we have David Luiz leaving Arsenal. Seems like he's gone over to Brazil. Odegaard and Ceballos loans have ended.
Yeah.
Everton, Walcott, Balassi. If for those who don't realise, Josh King was at Everton.
Have they released Josh King?
Yeah.
It's been confirmed because they only bought him last summer.
And I think it was January.
Was it January they bought him? I said straight up. Walcott probably will sign permanently for Southampton on a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
Balassi will play in the Championship where he's been on loan for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Since that knee injury, he was good at Palace. I mean, he had a decent start. I mean, he had a knee injury at Everton, I think it was. And
And Josh King will sign for whoever Eddie Howe ends up managing. So.
Rumour has it of Fernandinho has been released by Man City as well.
No.
Yeah. I think he's on. I saw last night. He's on the release list. I think he can then subsequently re-sign. But yeah.
Wow. I wouldn't expect that. Yeah, because he showed his value to them in the when he wasn't playing in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
So.
Just quickly then, because we've run a bit long on news. It has the Player of the Season awards, Premier League Player of the Season awards, and we've got the PFA awards tonight. Player of the Season should have been Harry Kane, was Ruben Dias.
Totally agree. Should have been Harry Kane. I don't understand how you can, for an individual award of Player of the Season, for the person that got the most goals and the most assists in the season, how can he not be Player of the Season?
Yeah, it seemed like it was quite Man City centric because Manager of the Season Pep, I think he can make that argument, but there's obviously other candidates. Young Player of the Season, quite a lot of recency bias. Phil Foden, I'd say my head would say Mason Mount, maybe even Declan Rice, but my overriding thought is reduce the age of the Young Player of the Year because I think Rashford can still get it next year. That's how ridiculous it is.
It shouldn't. I don't think it should be. If you have Young Player of the Season, it should be under 22.
It should be the same as the under 21 under 21 squad rules.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or you make it the award be like Rookie of the Season or something like.
Well, yeah,
make it American.
Rashford's going to be like 250 appearances by the end of next season. It's like, oh, great, well done, you.
Exactly, make it someone who's
you've played more games than Ruben Dias.
yeah. So, that annoys me as well. I think Pep is probably a fair one. I mean, I think
Pep's the fairest one out of those three. And then the golden season was Eric Lamella's Rabona against Arsenal.
Can't really argue with that. It was lovely. So, although I did watch Lanzini's goal back after we were talking about it last week for the 3-3. Absolutely blinding goal. That's why I'm now going to do it. That I'm going to try and get that into as many podcasts as possible. Although it's not as effective as Aguero, I know that it hurts you.
Both Argentinian.
Both Argentinians, yeah. So both scoring last minute bangers. I'll say bangers. Aguero wasn't a banger, but it was a banger.
Nice goal. It always surprised it went near post, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well.
There you go. In the comments, Kyle's there. Walcott to Southampton's already a done deal. So it's been. There you go. So okay, cool.
All right. Well, let's move on to the quiz. Ooh la 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 la. It's quizzing time.
For those live on YouTube, enjoy the new. Transition of scenes there, so it's fancy.
I didn't even get that. So, as I said earlier, it's a Euro 2020. I keep wanting to call it Euro 2021, but this is young players with experience. So these are a list of there's 12 players on this list here, and the club that they played for last season, or kind of this season. We're still in this season.
Yeah, we're still in this season, aren't we? Yeah.
Who played this season? They're aged 21 or younger, but they have also got 10 or more caps. So. That makes sense to you, Dave?
Yeah.
Dave's not really confident.
I'm going to struggle.
I thought with your football manager knowledge and your love of international football that you'd be all over this.
There's a few in there that I think I'm going to get nailed on.
You can get 6, surely.
I think I can get 6, yeah. I think I can get 6.
And you get 6 off the bat. Right, so straight off the bat, what are you hitting me with?
England, Borussia Dortmund, Jadon Sancho.
Bingo.
Which is interesting, because as soon as I said it, I thought that could very well be Jude Bellingham. Um,
But he's only got a couple of caps.
yeah,
and,
So it's 10 cap minimum, did you say? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netherlands, Juventus, it's got to be De Ligt.
First elect, the Dutch Phil Jones.
Oh, North Macedonia, Napoli. Oh, I'll come back to that one. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
Portugal, Atletico Madrid. João Felix is the guy that was waiting for big money. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Slovakia, Feyenoord. Come back to that. Spain, Man City. Oh.
Oh, which way's he going to go here?
I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to get my 6 first, then come back to that.
Okay, all right.
Sweden, Real Sociedad is Alexander Isak.
Oh, check you out, your knowledge.
Sweden, Juventus is Kulusevski.
Oh, Dave, what are you worried about?
Turkey, Liverpool. Now, the only Turkish man I can think of is Kabak, the centre back.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Deceptively young.
And this is the thing is, when I first saw this quiz, I was immediately drawn to Wales, Doncaster Rovers, and I was like, I have no idea.
No.
Wales,
And the reason I've chosen club 2021 because obviously these are young players, and a few of them are on loan from other clubs, and I thought I don't know if that's going to help you or not, so I left it as because 10 and 12 I was they were on loans.
Wales, Sheffield United. Oh, it's the Chelsea guy. Ampadu.
Ethan Ampadu, yes.
Wales, Liverpool is Wilson.
No.
Oh, damn. Who's...
He would have been on loan last year at...
where was Wilson on loan last year? Bournemouth?
And he's older than 21, I think.
Oh, okay. Wales... Well, I'll come back for that one for half a point. I mean, I've left myself Wales, Doncaster Rovers, who I have no idea about.
You've got 7, so you're fine.
Yeah. Wales, Wales international playing for Doncaster would have been on loan.
There's more players being called up from the Championship clubs than there were League One clubs. For Euro 2020. Helped somewhat by Scotland and Wales both qualifying.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm going to completely pass that. I'm not even going to... So you can give me the answer to that one, because I'm not going to get it.
Number 12, Doncaster Rovers. On loan from Man City, Matthew Smith.
Yeah.
So he's got a very, very unique name as well.
Would never have got that. Okay, so... North Macedonia, Napoli.
I mean, do you have any North Macedonians in the bank when you filter it? Before you filter by club, you just filter by international.
Is it a centre-back? Do you know their position?
Honestly, I didn't know this player off the top of my head. I'll a quick search of him.
If it's a centre-back, I've got... it might be an idea, but I can't remember if he plays for Napoli or Lazio. And actually, that's... and I can't even remember his proper name, because that's the goalkeeper I'm thinking of.
Brilliant, Dave. That is... I think you might as well pass this one. No, centre-back. He's a midfielder. Elif Elmas.
Oh, no, yeah, I wouldn't have got that. No. Okay. Fair enough. Slovakia, Feyenoord. Is it a goalkeeper?
Let's have a look. No, he's a forward.
Oh my word. Pass.
So that's Robert Bosnick.
Brilliant. Would never have got that.
Players to look out for, Dave. Players to look out for at the
I agree.
tournament.
And then it was Wales, Sheffield. No, Wales, Liverpool.
No, you still got Spain, Man City.
Oh, Spain, Man City. I'm going to go
Ferran
Torres.
Ferran Torres, yes.
Who's the other one it could have been? Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia, but I don't think he's got 10 caps.
No, I didn't think he had. And then, Wales, Liverpool. Was that the one I'm missing?
You're missing Wales, Liverpool. What are you going for?
I'm going to go for a fullback. Whose name I can't quite remember.
It's got a unique first name.
I'm going to pass because I'll just be thinking on dead air for a while.
Neco Williams.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, Necky Williams. Yeah. Neckit Williams.
I wonder where his name comes from. Is that a popular Welsh name? I'm not sure what Neco is.
Don't know.
Well done, Dave. You passed the quiz.
Yeah,
You didn't embarrass yourself in front of your friends.
That's definitely one of those ones that, obviously the ones I knew quite easily. I didn't have to
It
think
was,
too much.
it was quite a binary quiz, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on, and we'll talk Euro 2020, and we'll talk. First of all, we're going to talk about England's squad.
Yeah.
Then we'll talk a little bit about kind of other teams and other groups. Just give you a rundown of kind of some kind of our thoughts on that overall. So, England squad was announced. 26-man squad. Those extra 3 places. Gareth Southgate filled with right backs. That's basically what he saw. He saw his extra right back pot. He was the story of the right backs. 4 were called up. And now it's no longer 4, it's 3.
Now, credit to Kelvin Brown for this theory of, do you think Southgate called up Trent Alexander-Arnold knowing he had an injury, played him in the first game, thought he's never going to get through 90 minutes, let's just leave him on, and then that's that Trent Alexander-Arnold equation done?
No, I don't think so. I don't think... Nah.
No?
I think they were very fortuitous that the injury manifests itself at the right time.
Well, physio definitely could have found something afterwards.
Yeah.
So anyway,
no, I don't think so. I think it was. I mean, I don't agree with them taking them all. I know they can all play in slightly different positions, but hey, a different player can play a different position as well. You know.
Yeah. I mean, like, what's the Ramsdale, Godfrey, White, Lingard, Ward-Prowse, Greenwood through injury, and Watkins are the people that miss out. Is there one of those that would sort of? I was going to say salt to your bacon. That's not a phrase. Is there one of those?
No, I don't want him to salt my bacon. Actually,
Tantalize taste buds for the Euro squad. Who would you take?
I think that most people agree here. We're bringing back in Ward-Prowse, surely.
I would agree. I think Southgate will go for Lingard.
Because we're not blessed in that position already.
Because he's always performed for Southgate's England.
He's not going to get a chance to. He should not get on that pitch.
No, I agree. I agree with you. But I think Southgate will go Lingard, unless he.
Lingard would probably be 3rd, if not 4th, because I think Ben White and Ben Godfrey both offer a different a versatility. Because you take Harry Maguire as well, which I don't really know the extent of his injury, but he is currently injured, isn't he?
He is currently injured. There's rumours he's going to get some game time tonight.
Tonight. 5 o'clock. Yeah, Romania.
Because obviously, I think because again, if they run him out and he gets injured in the game, they can replace him. They're allowed to replace him.
It does feel like this Euros is going to be more of a who's got the least injuries. It's an endurance test. This has come at the end, basically a back-to-back season. There was kind of a break when COVID happened, but everybody was at home, couldn't come to the training ground. So
I agree.
This is an endurance test. So the fact we're carrying Harry Maguire with an injury, I mean, there's rumours that Marcus Rashford is going to have an operation to heal one of his injuries.
Yeah.
It was, I saw a phrasing after the year. It's like, oh God. I mean, Jack Grealish has just come out from injury.
Jordan Henderson.
Jordan Henderson carried an injury. It's not the place I'd like to be in, really. I think
I've got a concern for our squad that Ollie Watkins isn't in it, because Rashford carrying injuries, and then you've got Kane could very easily go over on his ankles and be ruled out for maybe not the whole tournament, but for a week or 2 weeks, and then you're relying on Calvert-Lewin. I just don't. Yeah.
Did you see how high that man jumped? He needs someone in the head. I'm not happy with Calvert-Lewin.
So
I'm not the biggest Ollie Watkins fan. I think Ollie Watkins is. I don't think he's ever going to be an England regular. He's a hard worker. He's good, but he was nowhere near clinical this season. I don't think he would. I think.
Yeah, I get that.
You'd have him up front. He would be toothless England. He was up front for us. I think.
If Greenwood wasn't injured, would he be in the squad? I think
maybe a Saka drops out, but
I think Saka gets in, or maybe not. Saka gets in. I'm just going through the list now, and it probably is Saka that drops out for him. But I think if Greenwood was fit, I think Greenwood goes, because he's just a clinic. If you need a goal, it's good to bring on. Would you have tried to talk Jamie Vardy out of retirement for a tournament?
Jamie Vardy's had a pretty poor season overall.
Yeah. Okay.
He's scored over half his goals are penalties, and he's not going to be on penalty duty.
Yeah. And then Jude Bellingham is in. Confirmed.
I do like a bit of Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham was 12 at the last Euros.
That's obscene, isn't it?
12.
It's just
He's now only 17, and it blows my mind. He is very good, and he's playing his way into the starting 11, which is a blow because it's funny for I imagine a lot of fans like me. We've not seen him play much.
no.
Like, because he's gone from in a year basically Championship to Bundesliga to a Euro squad. It's a unique situation. So where do you see him in? Because he's going to end up in the Premier League at some point. Who do you reckon? Is it Man City?
Yeah, I think it'll be probably it's hard to say because he could very easily, like Bayern Munich could take him.
But do you not have? It feels like Owen Hargreaves. This feels like similar to the Owen Hargreaves thing that we had. He was in the England squad whilst he was still at Bayern, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like, who is this man? Oh, he's quite good. And then a little bit older, obviously, but it's that kind of we never had him play in our league until quite late on.
It's weird. I think if he doesn't move to Bayern in the Bundesliga, then I think he will move to someone like a Man City or a Chelsea that can afford the transfer fee. And I'm talking obviously right now. We don't know, like you said earlier, what's going to happen in 2-3 years' time. There might be another oligarch that comes in and buys another club and just spaffs money everywhere. But I mean, yeah, I would like to see him more regularly in the Premier League. I think it would be wonderful. Who knows? Birmingham might get promoted, win the Premier League, and then they'll have enough money to buy him back. So I'd love it if they put a buyback clause of like 12 million in. That would be so funny. It's just they can't afford it right now. But
I hate to break it to you, Birmingham fans, but you are not getting Jude Bellingham back. Something's gone horribly wrong if you're getting him back, or it's in double his age time when he's 34.
Yeah. So, but no, it's good to see him there. Who's overall? You happy with the squad? As it's now? I mean, we don't know who's going to replace Trent. We don't know that, but.
I think I'm still concerns. We're never going to go away unless we miraculously found someone who had English heritage. But it's still a centre back, and still, it's not going to be fixed. And if Harry Maguire's not there, it makes it look even worse.
Yep.
Yeah. We could be Connor Cody and Tyro. And do you see Tyrone Mings?
Oh my word, Tyrone Mings! Oh, what was he doing?
Going for the old Rudiger bash on De Bruyne. That was just horrific. He is a thug.
Yeah.
I dislike him incredibly.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that obviously Southgate would have seen that, even not when he was, obviously Southgate was there live, he was the manager, but he might not have seen it at that time because he was focusing on the play.
There's definitely a review after the point.
We've seen a review after, and do you think that is now, I mean, that's the sort of thing that could stop you getting game time? If your manager sees you do that.
That is, you cannot, if you're in a tournament and do that, because there was no VAR in that match.
Yeah.
VAR in a tournament, that is, horrific.
It's game over, innit, if you do that in a tournament.
And you know what? I haven't engaged much with England over the qualifiers, and I just watched a video this morning, and Gareth Southgate was talking about players taking a knee, how they're going to continue to do it, and I just forgot how much he is a breath of fresh air as a manager. I love the way he speaks. He's so calm, composed, relaxed, and I'd completely forgotten how much he kind of fallen for Gareth Southgate and how well he speaks. It's just, he gets a lot of fans, a lot of kind of admiration from me for speaking like that. He's
Spurs manager?
No, I'm all right.
He gets a lot of admiration, but not actually as your club manager, not to be your club manager.
No. It's the way he handles himself.
Yeah.
I'm not quite. His tactics somewhat questionable.
Okay.
So let's have a look at the kind of the tournament overall. So we start on Friday.
That's exciting. It's exciting.
It is exciting. Have you got a wall chart? I spoke to Ross the other day about a wall chart. It was a thing because there's a PDF that downloaded. I've got a wall right here. I could put a wall chart on. Have you ever dabbled in wall charts previously?
I've dabbled in wall charts, yeah. I think it was more, obviously, when I was growing up in my room and we were living in my parents' house, I had a few in. And then university, we definitely had a massive wall chart for whatever tournaments were on, like Euros and World Cups and stuff then. Just
quickly, posters on your wall in your bedroom as a youngster, what we got?
Footballers, like Ryan Giggs.
Nerd. Where are the women, mate?
Ryan
Giggs?
I think, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
I think I had like Ryan Giggs and Cantona, Schmeichel. I think I had
I've got a vague memory of Cantona in your bedroom, actually.
Yeah. And then as I got older, I had the Naked Ladies calendar that was on the back of my door. Not really. I never really had. I had a big cork board that mainly had photos of you chumps on it. Like
Yeah.
every time we grew up and I'd got a new photo. Yeah, it was weird. What about you? Do you have posters on your wall?
I've got a memory of Heidi Klum.
Nice.
I can remember the picture actually.
So it's not a vague memory. Yeah, I've got a vague memory of Heidi Klum. Oh yeah, what a picture. Yeah.
And Kelly Brook.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember having any football. I'm a big football fan. I don't remember. I do remember having the coins, the Euro '96 coins.
Yeah.
Still got them, so knocking around somewhere.
I've still got them. They're in my storage container in Bristol.
Yeah, from the petrol stations, didn't you?
Yeah, you did. And I kept on getting blooming Nigel Martin every pack.
Oh yeah, Nigel Martin. Oh, get out of there, Nigel Martin.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's Euro 2020 coming.
Yeah. Let us know what posters did you have on your wall as kids? Everyone out there.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, that's right.
Right, Group A. Group A. Turkey,
Italy, Wales, Switzerland. So we cover kind of the big sides and the home nation. So Mancini's Italy.
Yep.
It's a team without superstars, no real big names. We've got some big defenders. Bonucci and Chiellini at the back, and maybe like Verratti, kind of probably the star man. Free agent Donnarumma, who's somehow managed to not negotiate a contract with Milan, and there was rumours that Conte would bring him into Spurs, but alas. I think they're going to be struggling up top. There's no real properly goal. I mean, we had a lot of goal threat from Italians, the Del Pieros of the past, but Immobile, Belotti, Chiesa. It's kind of it's a side that I fear as an England fan because I can literally see it now. Like we'd go down to Italy from like some corner or something, and then Chiellini's diving around, wasting time. Just the nous that Chiellini has is just gonna. Experience for it.
Throw some facts at you about Italy.
Don't hit me.
Not lost since
Rome.
Not lost since 2018.
Oh.
Last loss was to Portugal in the whatever it was in 2018 Euros.
World Cup.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Thank you. That was their last loss. In 3 years ago, Euro 2021. That was their last loss, and they haven't conceded a goal in their last 9 games.
Oh, that's where you know it's happening. You can see it now.
Are they going to grease their way to the win? And I don't mean cover themselves in grease. I mean do.
Greased up Italian guys. You're never going to catch me.
Yes, haven't conceded a goal in 8 games because they've got a friendly. Actually, this would make it 9 before going to tournament, which I think is a record going into a tournament.
It's pretty impressive. It all fall apart, and Gareth Bale scored a hat-trick against them.
Okay, moving on to Wales then.
Wales, you mentioned Ryan Giggs, obviously would have been manager if he wasn't such an absolute piece of work.
If he wasn't such a Tyrone Mings.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit harsh on Tyrone Mings. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it's Rob Page standing in. Obviously, last time out in Euros was something to remember, wasn't it? That was their semi-finals appearance. The old Hal Robson-Kanu turn, the Belgium.
When he turned into prime Ronaldinho against Belgium.
I can't remember who they faced in the semis, was it? But it was, in fact, I think Ramsey missed out, was suspended or something like that, and it just kind of just petered out a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah. So, it's all looking a bit... to be fair, it's a bit similar to Italy in terms of up front. There's not much... You've got Bale and that's it. Really, there's not too much to work with.
You've got Cardiff's Kiefer Moore, Dan James. It's not great. Obviously, from the pandemic, the delay, Joe Allen now stands a chance, but Ben Davies is obviously a key part of that. Left centre back role they played, and there was a Instagram post after he played from Jose Mourinho because it was in Jose Mourinho's time he got injured, and he said something. He posted a picture of Ben Davies going, brilliant player, playing through the pain barrier to play. I hate that because why is one game important? I mean, this could keep Ben Davies out of the Euros.
Yeah,
it's not right to do that. And so, I think they were kind of living on vibes last time around, weren't they? What just kind of just worked for them. You never know. It's not quite the same, but
it's an interesting one because if teams are complacent against Wales and just think of it as, well, if we go and attack, we're going to score goals, that is when Dan James can become lively because the counter-attack with his pace and then you just need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. And if he finds Bale,
Gareth Bale can do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think so. I'm not writing Wales off from getting out of this group. I think they've got a good chance. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to see Joe Rodon play a tournament, get some experience, young Spurs centre back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they stand a decent chance progressing. Switzerland and Turkey, the other two teams in that group. I'd like to see them progress. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so.
So we have the world number ones in the next group, Group B. So we have Denmark, Finland, Belgium, Russia. Belgium qualified with ease, 10 wins out of 10, 40 goals scored, 3 conceded. Roberto Martinez, we mentioned earlier, at the helm.
Let's be honest, three goals conceded with Roberto Martinez at the helm is good no matter your opponents, because he is open.
I mean, that is where their experience is Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Vermaelen. Obviously Courtois, excellent goalkeeper. He keeps it very samey. We have De Bruyne maybe, obviously the injury in the Champions League final. We have Axel Witsel again maybe missing out. We have Eden Hazard, probably going to turn back into 3 year ago Eden Hazard. It's not a dead cert. World number one, I think, probably masks it a little bit, but it's a group they're going to progress out of with Russia.
If they don't progress out of that group, it's self-implosion from Belgium somehow. But I think, get the ball in that midfield and get it up to Lukaku, and that's the tactic, isn't it? He's in fine form.
Yeah, it's. I wonder how Lukaku feels. Like, this is the golden generation, isn't it? You got over 30. You've got Eden Hazard probably over 30, Mertens over 30, De Bruyne just approaching it, Witsel probably just beneath it. You got Meunier probably over it, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, and Vermaelen all definitely over it.
Yeah.
It's all going to be a very different side, maybe creaking for the World Cup in 18 months' time, but definitely by the Euros, it's going to be a different makeup of that side, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. But they should walk the group. Denmark, Finland, and Russia shouldn't pose any threat, really.
Group C, Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and North Macedonia. Netherlands obviously stand outside there. It's not going great for them. Obviously, the delay by the year helped. Because Depay was injured. We now obviously have Virgil van Dijk injured. I don't know how Dutch fans feel, but that's a fair swap. I probably would say they've got good cover at centre back.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. Is they with Stefan de Vrij and Matthijs de Ligt, you've got two top-notch centre backs there anyway. So.
Yeah. But the problem for them is the timing of this is that Ronald Koeman is now Barcelona manager, and they now have, as Jose Mourinho once said, the worst ever Premier League manager in Frank de Boer, who's not really doing great things. I think he's dividing a nation, it seems to be, from the outside looking in.
Yeah, I mean, my issue with the Netherlands is it's very good all down the middle. And then it gets very weak when you move to, especially the fullbacks. We're probably looking at, Daley Blind and Dumfries. Dumfries is pretty decent, but...
Going forward,
he's sort of like Trent Alexander-Arnold for the Netherlands, really. Can't really defend, but good going forwards. And then you got Stephen Berghuis on one wing. You got Depay will be floating in and around. They're just lacking that sort of Van Nistelrooy, Kluivert, Van Basten sort of striker. They've always seemed to have Bergkamp.
I think Frankie de Jong is going to be the one. I love watching Frankie de Jong when Spurs played against Ajax, but he's the main man. But let's not forget, they did not qualify for 2016. They didn't make it out of the group in 2012. They've not been pulling up trees in international tournaments. So
true.
Don't be surprised to see some form of upset here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think what? Going through as third place?
Yeah, I suppose it's with a new format, it's going to struggle to get out. You're going to struggle to not get out of the group. But I don't think. I think if England would come up say against the Netherlands, I don't think it imparts a fear it once did.
Yeah, no. I think they get out of that group quite easily and then struggle.
Too much, yeah.
So,
and then it's our group. So Group D: England, Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic. Croatia are kind of a bit of a phase on from Belgium in terms of a number of their players that we would have played against in the semi-finals of the World Cup have retired. So Rakitic, Mandzukic, Subasic, Luka have all since retired. They do still have Luka Modric.
Yeah.
But and they do still have, for any Spurs fans listening, they do have Orsic, who is the player who somehow got a hat-trick and sent us out of the Europa League. So you're probably still having nightmares about him. But they're a much easier position again.
I think that's the thing. Like, even with Modric in, I think they're missing so many cogs from that previous team that worked really well as a team, as that's what Croatia did. And I think missing the likes of your man Zukic, who was a target man and then a wide target man, and no one really knew how to deal with him when he moved out to the left and long balls, or the more direct balls, went out towards him. I feel like it's not. Maybe it's complacency, but I feel like we shouldn't.
Typical England underestimating their opponents.
I feel like we shouldn't be worried, but Scotland. What do you feel? How do you feel about Scotland? No chance, little chance.
First major tournament since France '98. Opening game against Brazil. John Collins
from the penalty. Yeah.
They're lacking, aren't they? Unfortunately, you've got some okay players, some good players, but you've got some okay players. Obviously, you've got the two left backs. Unfortunately for this generation of Scotland, they've got two excellent left backs in Robertson and Tierney. McTominay midfield is a decent player, but you look up front, they're relying on Shay Adams and Ryan Fraser. This should be no battle. It's all going to be about mentality for England that they need to get themselves up there, because they will see those players and know they're better than them because they experience them week in, week out.
Yeah.
But Scotland, we've had newspaper articles saying when they release a squad, who are these bunch of all these no names. So Scotland will be so determined.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And I think that means a lot. I think being up for the game, if you catch your opponents off guard,
it's just 90 minutes. You don't get more than that.
I do think there's not. There's a lack of experience and talent in the Scotland squad, which means it's going to be very tough. I mean, there is though, isn't there? There is, compared to everybody else, compared to the big names that are there is a lack of that experience and talent in terms of where the players play and how they work together. I can't even name the Scottish manager. Who is it? Do we know?
Steve Clarke.
Who?
Steve Clarke.
Oh, Stephen. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did know him. So, and then Czech Republic. Thomas Susek. That's it.
Yeah, that's going to be that. I just feel that our defence is going to come up. But they play very direct football, quite high pressing and direct football. And then Suchek has caused so much pain for a number of different Premier League sides this season. Such a great in the air and grabbing, tapping and stuff. A little bit of concern. I hope we should get the business done by that point. Hopefully, the Czech Republic are our third game of the group.
Yeah. So, very quickly then, Spain, Sweden, Poland, Slovakia. We'll just focus on Spain. What do you do with the goalkeepers? You've got De Gea.
Yeah, so De Gea. When did De Gea play? Obviously, is on a bad ebb from his final appearance, but he didn't really play much before that, did he? He had been out for Dean Henderson. You got Brighton's Roberto Sanchez in there, which is brilliant, and then a somewhat erratic Unai Simon. I think it was the record holder this season for most errors leading to goals with 5.
And also is Spain's number 1.
Yes,
so
that is number 1. So
it's interesting.
No Real Madrid players in the squad. You look at the squad; it does lack stars. It lacks experience in overall in defence, I'd say. And up front, you have Gerard Moreno. Obviously, Man United fans will remember. I have Alvaro Morata, but it's not a side that you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is it's not a Spain of old.
It's not. No. I don't think they threaten later on in the tournament. I don't think they have enough there to get over the line. I think they should get out of the group just by the players they have. So. But they'll get out of the group. They should win the group, I should say. They should win the group. I'm intrigued to see what looks like a still in form Robert Lewandowski up against that goalkeeper and Spain defence centre backs, because if Poland play that right, they could get a monumental victory in that group stage against Spain. It could be brilliant. And Sweden obviously lacking Ibrahimovic, got ruled out through injury, and Slovakia probably are going to finish bottom of the group, I'd imagine. Not too many standout names in Slovakian football. So Group F, Hungary, Portugal, France and Germany. So Portugal holders.
This is obviously known as the Portugal holder, the group of death. All three can get out, obviously. But I just look at the squads. All of the squads is just crazy. Like Portugal, Rui Patricia, Cancelo, Guerrero, Diaz, Bruno, Ronaldo, Andre Silva, top scoring behind Lewandowski in Bundesliga, Jota, Neves. You look at France. You got Lloris, Varane, Kante, Pogba, Benzema, Sissoko. One of those is not like the other.
Yeah.
And then Germany brought back in Hummels and Müller because they were back on it. The only thing I think about Germany is Low leaving. Does that change the mentality of a German side, knowing that your manager's stepping down?
Do you want to win it for him because he's done so much for you over the years?
Or do you not play for him as much? You know, you're not having to impress him for the next tournament.
Well, true.
It's a fresh start for everybody after that.
Yeah, true. So
France are favourites.
Joint favourites with us for the tournament, apparently, which I don't understand. But yeah, Benzema back in I think is good. I think Benzema back in gives them a different option when they can't play balls in behind to Mbappe and Griezmann. He's the target sort of man.
It was Giroud at the World Cup, wasn't it? Who played effectively in midfield, was just very defensive. Didn't get a single goal, did he? And then talking about another striker, Timo Werner, leading the line for Germany, who's clearly going to turn into Prime Minister of closer if England ever face him, because he's been chastised by us all England fans, League fans.
I'm sorry, I stick up for Timo Werner quite a lot and say he's had a much better season than people think. So,
well, hopefully that's enough to make him not score against us, Dave. Well, send him a message, say you support him. And then hopefully he won't do that.
Okay, great. The only thing I will say with this group is that, we're saying all three of them should get out. Portugal, France and Germany, because of third best places.
Yeah.
This is probably the hardest group to get a lot of points as third place.
Because you've got other...
If Portugal beat Hungary and lose to the others, they get 3 points, whereas someone else might get 4 points and finish third. So, it'd be very, very interesting. Cool, good.
So, I want your thoughts then, Dave. We'll go on doing some proper predictions after this, but your gut feeling, your winner, and how you think England will perform.
My gut feeling was every time I did a predicting thing, it came out as Germany, and then I did one where I actually sat down and took some time, and it came France. France to win it. I just can't look past the squad. It's so strong in every position. I feel like they've got a decent tactical manager who maybe not be the best, but he's got star players to get him out of trouble. They've got Kante, probably the best midfielder in his role in a generation. They've got Mbappe, who's not even hit his peak and is one of the best in the world. They've got Benzema, who's on form. They've got Pogba, who play really well for France like he always does and suits that formation. They've got Rabiot they can bring in if they need to play a little bit more defensive too in midfield. They've got a back four, which is incredible, that it got stronger with Laporte. Laporte went to Spain. No, Laporte went to France, didn't he? Yeah, which gets stronger with Laporte coming in. He went to Spain.
Laporte Spain, yeah.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just...
It's because France has so much depth in their central defence that he's like, I'm never going to look in here.
Yeah, well...
what about England then?
England getting out of the group. Definitely getting out of the group. Quarterfinals. It's really tough, innit? Because if we win our group, we play who comes second in the group of death. Yeah. And it's the sort of thing of, do you want to throw the group so that you don't play that and technically get an easier route through if everything goes as it should? But it's a very tough. I can't put. I'd say I'd be happy with semi-finals. I think it will go out earlier than that, but just of the way the draw is done.
I agree. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just trying to find very quickly on my computer the predictions things that I've done that I've sent to someone, but I can't find it at the moment. So, yeah.
Right. Well, we'll leave that there for Euro discussion. Obviously, over the next few weeks, this is going to be our main focus of discussion as we progress and track England's progress in the tournament overall.
And links are in the description below on both Spotify and YouTube for our Euros fantasy football. So come and get involved. Join the Football Talk Fantasy Football League. Yeah.
But now hit me, Dave.
I got a wiki file. Here comes a wiki file. I got a wiki file for you. Hey, there we go. Right, I've got a wiki file, haven't I, Josh? You sent it to me. This is. I'm not happy about this. This is clear retaliation for mine last week.
It's a retaliation, yeah.
Right, I have no idea. 1989 to 1991, he played for the wonderfully named Marconi Stallions. 49 appearances, 4 goals. 1991 to 1996, he moved to Belgium. I'm assuming Marconi Stallions is Italy, but it might not be actually. Club Bruges, 91 to 96, 72 appearances, 1 goal. 96 to 99, Lazio, 19 appearances, 0 goals. 99 to 2000, Fiorentina, 11 appearances, 0 goals. 2000 to 2002, Middlesbrough, 28 appearances, 0 goals. He had a loan spell at Watford in 2002, 15 appearances, 0 goals. Moved to Leeds, 2002 to 2003, Leeds United, 15 appearances, 0 goals. Moved back to Italy, 2003 to 2004, Vicenza, 28 appearances, 2 goals. Then moved to back to Belgium, 2004 to 2005 for KV Oostend, 33 appearances, 0 goals. Then he moves to Apoel. Is it Apoel Nicosia, or whatever they're called in
Nicosia? Yeah.
Cyprus?
Yes, I think so.
2005, 2006, 9 appearances, 0 goals, and then he finished his career in Australia, 2006 to 2007, Newcastle Jets. Now he finishes it in Australia, which sort of Marconi Stallions could be an Australian team.
Yeah, what was the one you had last week for your? That was a very odd sounding name, wasn't it? Warriors, wasn't it?
Last week was. Oh, I didn't put it in the OneNote because I send it to you. Don't know manually. Yeah.
So no thoughts to begin with?
Absolutely nothing. 296 appearances overall with 9 goals. Screams defender or goalkeeper, but I'll go defender. I mean, Lazio, Fiorentina, is Middlesbrough Premier League 2000, 2002?
We have Premier League with Leeds. Is Leeds and his Middlesbrough career.
Okay. Lazio, Fiorentina, Middlesbrough, Watford, Leeds. I have Leeds in 2002. That was the really good Leeds team, wasn't it? That was Leeds.
No, that wouldn't be really good Leeds team. That would be there. Was it?
Yeah, that was that. No, that wouldn't have been like your Viduka, Kuhl, and that would it? No, that would have been later.
So he was lining up with. No, it would have. Yeah, it was a kind of just a slightly after it. So he was beside. There was Woodgate, Hart, Gary Kelly, Paul Robinson was in goal. Eric Backer, Harry Kuehl, Jason Wilcox, Robbie Fowler. Just a slightly.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, defender. It's got to be a defender. It's got to be a defender. And I'm now leaning towards that he's probably Australian. I don't know. I'll have his international stats.
You have his international stats. Australia under-20s, 4 appearances. Australia under-23s, 3 appearances. Australia main team, 28 appearances. No goals scored for any of those.
So he is Australian. An Australian that played for Leeds that isn't Mark Viduka.
Or Harry Kuehl.
Come on, Dave. It's got to be up there somewhere. I'll have his position as well. I'll go for all the clues.
Defensive midfielder. Although there was...
No, he's Norwegian.
In 1996, Dino Zoff, then coach of Italian giants Lazio, flew out to Belgium personally to sign the Australian, stipulating in his contract that he would play sweeper and promising first-team football. However, with the departure of Roberto Di Matteo to Chelsea, forcing him to play in midfield, and a succession of knee injuries, a problem caused by a misaligned pelvis, the result of a childhood car crash, resulted in game time being limited.
Oh, my word. In my head, I've got Eric Backer, but I know he's not Australian.
He's Norwegian,
yeah,
I think.
He is. And I'm going to have to pass, I think. I'm stumped. Unless there's any other clues you can give me to help me along.
His first name is Paul.
Paul?
Yes, Paul. It's a common English name.
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah. Paul is a holding midfielder for Leeds.
Paul Michael. He's shorter than Christian Daly, 5'9".
Who is it?
Paul Ocon.
No, don't remember him. Paul who? Paul Ocon.
Yeah, Okon.
No history. No recollection of that name at all.
I remember him from, I think, Pro Evo or ISS. I remember him.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing in my memory bank there. I was never going to get that. You can put me out of my misery a little bit. Is Marconi Stallions an Australian amateur team?
Marconi Stallions is an Australian semi-professional soccer club based in Farfield, Sydney, New South Wales.
There we go. Bloody hell. Right, 1-1 on the really horrible Wikifiles.
Australians.
Yeah, really horrible Australians, yeah. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Right.
Shocking.
Any other business, Dave?
No, not from me. Again, just to repeat, thank you, everyone, and get linked into the fantasy football that's in the description below. Get involved. It's quite a lot of people have signed up for it already, so yeah, let's get a few more in there.
Excellent. So that brings an end to this week's podcast. Thank you for listening, and if you've been us on YouTube, thank you for your questions. If you want to get us hold us for next week's show, you can find us on Twitter @FootballTalk. But remember,
there's no way in football. That is the worst one you've done ever.
Oh, yeah, one of the worst ones I've done, that's for sure. Yeah. Not the worst one ever. Well, see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.